Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to day 5 of the 7-day challenge. We are moving along in this. By the way, my name is Ashton. I'm the founder of Active Solutions AI, where we build what's arguably the most sophisticated conversational AI in the market. The 7-day challenge is basically breaking down step by step how you can take a conversational AI agency from zero to not zero. So let's go ahead and dive in. So far, we've covered most of the things that you're going to need to know to see success, which is creating the accounts, creating the AI, setting up ads, cold outreach methods, etc. Actually getting clients. Now what we're going to do is be creating the actual sales pipeline that's going to optimize generating appointments on your own calendars so that you can start having conversations with business owners and potentially selling this service. So first thing I'm going to break down is the high-level overview of what is going to be happening here. So step number 1, whenever someone comes across your advertisement, right? So this is just an example of ads that someone will see whenever you're running them on Facebook, or if you're doing some type of cold outreach method, whatever it might be, they're going to come across the ads. They're going to look like this, right? Then they're going to say, wow, this resonates with me. I need this. And they're going to click the Learn More button. Now, what's going to happen next is it's probably going to pop up a lead form. They're going to submit their information, and you want an automatic redirect at the end of the lead form to a calendar that looks like this, okay? And then they're going to select the time that works best for them. They're going to have some additional questions here that they need to fill out, right? And this is going to be useful for us because now we know if they're high priority, low priority, whatever it might be. Let's say they're spending this much on ads and 5 to 15 sales reps, and this is what they need help with, right? Then they select the little bubble and they schedule a meeting, and we're going to see all of that information populate as well as the appointment populate. And here is how we make this work. Okay, so the first thing you are going to need is a pipeline, and then you're going to need pipeline stages within that pipeline, and I'll walk you through the stages that I have that make us more efficient, right? So pipeline number 1 is going to be new leads. Anytime someone, if you're running paid traffic or even if you're doing cold outreach, have something that's going to trigger the individual to pipeline into the new leads section. So for example, we have an automation where when a Facebook lead form is submitted, it automatically updates the opportunity and it puts them in this pipeline stage. I'll give you an example of what this looks like and how it works. So let's say in AI, conversational AI, perfect. Now, typically I would put this in a separate workflow, but it works if it's in the same one as well. So Facebook lead form is submitted, right? And then we have the update or create opportunity, new leads, pipeline stage, right? In pipeline lead gen. And then we update it with the contact's name. That's going to be the opportunity name. So we're able to see every single lead in that pipeline. And now, whenever a Facebook lead form is submitted, before anything else happens, it's updating the opportunity so it goes in that opportunity section. So hopefully that makes sense in how that works. We're going to ignore this stuff. Okay, step number 2 is hot leads. One of the things that triggers a hot lead opportunity is the trigger is going to be the customer replied via SMS, right? And then we update the opportunity and it moves them to this stage. So now we have all the new leads, right? Number 1. And then hot leads are everybody that actually replied to the conversational AI, which means they are a higher priority than the new leads because not only, look at those balloons. So not only did they just opt in, but they also replied to the conversational AI, making them much higher priority for us and probably more likely to answer the phone if we called them and probably more likely to actually schedule a consultation or a demo. So we set up an automation so that when people respond to us, they automatically move to hot leads. Then when we have free time, we go through and we dial the hot leads. That's why we have that there. Then we have the updating opportunity to scheduled introduction call. So I'll walk you through this as well. So let's go appointments calendar. How we have this set up. This is not an appointment, but you can go to create workflow, and we're going to go to select recipe, and they'll actually give you one of these. So let's say, where is the appointment confirmation? Recipe appointment booking. Actually, appointment reminder confirmation. Yeah, let's select this one. Okay, cool. Now this is going to auto-populate here. And what this is doing, cool, the appointment is going to trigger it. Okay, so whatever appointment and whatever calendar that you would like it to be triggered, if it's a specific one, right? So we do a two-step process, which I'll go into in a second. But you trigger the appointment here, and then you want to update that opportunity. So create or update opportunity. It's going to be in our new leads pipeline or lead gen pipeline, and it's going to go into scheduled introduction call. Opportunity name is also always going to be contact full name. Okay, then we're going to save that action. Bingo, we are ready to go. So I'm just breaking down the pipeline for you. Cool. So we have an automation that's associated with that, right? And we have all of the appointment confirmation reminders, etc., so that people know when their appointment is and they get reminded like, hey, your appointment's coming up in 24 hours, all that good stuff. And then we have our strategy call no-show, right? If someone no-shows, we want to have a pipeline that's associated with this. So those are additional automations that you could set up so that there's continuously being followed up with if they don't show up to one of their appointments. Then we have lost sale and services sold and dead lead. So you want to have automations associated with services sold probably as well, like welcome to the team, email and text message, send them some onboarding links or documents or whatever it might be, etc. So this is the pipeline and the pipeline stages within the pipeline. If you want to edit this, you would create a new pipeline here, and then you can edit the stages within the pipeline right here. Okay, so I would just put if you're starting from scratch and you have nothing, I would just put these here. So one of the things that we like to do is one of the process that we like to follow is called the two-step process. So let me walk you through this really quick. We want to have 2 calendars and 2 appointments before every sale that we attempt to get, right? So how this works is someone sees our ad, they click on the ad, it resonates with them, they opt in, they're redirected so that they can book an appointment. Maybe they don't even book the appointment, and our conversational AI reaches out to them and tries to nurture them so they can book an appointment that way as well, etc. They book their first appointment. That first appointment is called an introduction call. The introduction call is strictly for rapport and qualification. So we want to get the person to trust us. We want to find out more about the problem that they actually have, the problem that we're trying to solve. We want to see if we're able and capable of solving that problem. And in the beginning, it really doesn't matter. Try to solve the problem in the beginning. In the beginning, you kind of want to basically give an arm and a leg when you're trying to get clients. You want to go above and beyond to try to get results for these prospects. Even if it's not necessarily scalable in the beginning, you really want to try to help these people because all you need is clients in general. You need somebody to give you money. You need to earn your own conviction, and sometimes you need to undersell and over-deliver instead of the other way around. So intro call is step number 1, okay? After you complete the intro call and you decide that they might be a good fit, you invite them to a second call the following day, where that would be a Zoom demo. So the first one is a phone call, strictly for rapport and qualification, roughly about 15 to 20 minutes long. Try to keep it closer to 15 minutes, could make you more efficient. And then you invite them to the second call, which is the demo or the strategy call. Now you can call this whatever. You can call these whatever you want, but the idea is that you need to have a 2-step process. If you have a 1-step process and people are just going straight to Zoom calls, odds are, especially if you've never done this before, your show rate's going to be terrible, and you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. It's very easy for someone to commit to a phone call or to answer the phone, especially if they know it's only going to be roughly 15 minutes long. It's not as much of a commitment for the person, and you haven't there's no reason for them to trust you yet. So why should they block an hour out of their day to sit down on a Zoom call with you? Because they don't know you anything. So what I like to say, and I say this all the time, is whenever you're inviting people into your process and you're trying to get clients, let everybody in through the front door, but don't let everybody see the kitchen. And this is exactly what I mean, is you kind of want to make it more and more invasive as they cross over into the process. And the faster and sooner you can build rapport and actually establish a human-to-human connection with these people, the more likely you are to get them to that demo Zoom call, to get them to show up and actually have a chance to sell them, okay? So step number 1, introduction call. Step number 2 is strategy call. That's the main idea here. Building rapport, doing whatever we need to do to get them to that second call. We get them to show up, and then we try to close on that second call. Okay, so hopefully that was a good breakdown of the actual process that we try to follow. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to get people to this intro call. So step number 1, we need intro calls on our calendar. We need people to schedule. So what we do is we create this calendar, and this is exactly what it would look like. So you're just going to go up to the top right corner, create calendar. Make it look pretty. Add your logo here, whatever you want to do. Call it whatever you want. You probably want to create your own customized link or URL, or even embed it to a landing page, whatever it might be. And then you want to select a person, which is probably going to be yourself, to add to this calendar. Then you want to select your availability. You want to make this as available as possible. The more times that they have to choose from, the better. So that's what I would do up here. Meeting intervals, you could do 15 minutes and then a meeting duration of 15 minutes as well. Date range, you probably want to keep it around 3 days out. So this is how far out they can schedule. If they open the calendar up on Monday, it's going to show farthest out Thursday. And you probably, I would even argue maybe 48 hours maximum. You definitely want these people to schedule, and you want to have their appointment on the calendar within the next 2 days, because the longer you wait, the higher the probability of them just not showing up to the call or not answering at all. So this is going to increase the likelihood of them actually responding or just answering the phone. So I would keep this around here. 1 booking per user. This looks good. Perfect. And then let's go forms and payments. So this is where you're going to insert your form, okay, right here. So the next step would be we go back and we create ourselves a form. One sec. Okay, so we're going to go to Sites on the left sidebar, and we're going to go to Forms, and we're going to go to Form Builder. And then we are going to, looks like I've created a couple forms in here already. Let's see if we have any good ones. Okay, yeah, so just use one of whatever template that it provides you, or just use one of the default ones here. Now, how you're going to build this form out is, first of all, I don't like the first name and last name separate. I'm a big fan of the full name. I don't know why. I just feel like it's just extra work for no reason to have 2 different drop boxes for this. And we're going to make this required field. Perfect. This also needs to be a required field. Okay, it looks like it is required. Perfect. Okay, now we need to add questions to this form. So we're going to go to custom fields, and we're going to see, so like, what is your current revenue, for example? We're going to pull this in here, and you'll just create these by coming into here and adding a custom value. You can do a drop down, or you can do a short answer. I like drop downs. The more user friendly it is, the better. Drop downs, they get to select the answer that most resonates with them. If someone has to stop and type, remember, whenever you're going through this process, you're like feeding people slowly into your process. You want it to be easy. A lot of people will say, no, like make it more difficult, like you'll bring in more qualified people. Not true. 0 people owe you anything when you first start a business. There's no reason why they need to go through all of this work so that they can get to a call and try to be sold. So we need to make it user-friendly for the person to go through your process until you make a name for yourself and you build some sort of brand and you have some sort of foundation. In the beginning, do not make the process difficult. Make it as easy as possible for the person to say yes and to click through these questions. So I like drop downs. You can create the multiple options that you want. What is your current revenue? X, Y, Z, whatever it might be. Okay, cool. Hopefully that was a cool enough breakdown. There's a lot of different, you can play with the custom fields and how you can make them as well. So this, for example, is a drop down. We're going to use a placeholder. We're going to say monthly revenue. Perfect. All right. Now, if we were to preview this form, here's what it looks like. They click this. Look at that. Boom. They got an option to select from. Obviously, this is an example I'm going to include. I would include way more options than this. The button, you can always change the color of whatever you want it to be. I like blue. Cool, whatever, yeah. But you can customize this in whatever way that you want. Sometimes it'll, at default, it will make a border around the form. I don't like borders. I remove the borders. I think this looks clean. Just add the questions that you need to add, and then embed it to the calendar. So this is going to be, let's say, test form, right? We're going to name this bad boy. Beautiful. We're going to go back, settings. We're going to go back into calendars. And we're going to edit the introduction call, forms, test form, boom. Now we have our form embedded to that calendar. And let's see what else we got. Redirect your URL if you want to redirect them to your website or whatever it might be, or if you just want to have a message, doesn't really matter. It's really upon preference. What else we got? All good. Okay. Customizations. You can change I would use the Neo calendar widget style, and then you can change the color so it's not like too default. Whatever your logo colors might be, you can try to make it align with that a little bit more just to make it brand specific. Again, adding your logo to the front as well would be helpful. And then you're going to have a pretty looking calendar. And when you go to customizations, you can actually preview what the widget is going to look like overall as well. And ours is not activated, so there's nothing to preview here besides this 404 error code. But this, once it's created, preview the widget, double check it, make sure you like all the colors, and then you basically just save the calendar. You're pretty much good to go. So the form is going to be embedded to the calendar. You're going to be able to get some additional information for people, and you're walking people through, holding their hand through the process to get them to book that call. So now you have the ad that's created, right? And then you're going to take, if I click out of here, the introduction call is what you're trying to get everybody to book whenever they come through your ads, or even if you're just trying to schedule an appointment through cold messages. You're going to share this. You're going to copy the scheduling link. I would paste this. If you watch the last video on the Facebook ads, go to the end of the form where it's where it's going to redirect the person to after they submit their information. This is where you're going to paste that link. You want the calendar link there right away. You need an automatic redirect. It's got to be user-friendly. There's so many people who don't have a redirect, and they just say, thanks, have a good day after they get their information. But there's so many people we could have gotten if we just had a call to action there. 10% of people will schedule themselves. If you have a good enough ad that's calling out the right audience and that has like an obvious offer that says, I'll get you XYZ results, whatever it might be, 10% of people will book right away. So you're missing 10% of appointments just by not having a simple redirect. So this is the best way, in my opinion, from what's worked for us. Actually, I won't say the best way. There might be somebody out there that does it better than us. So I'll just say this is a way to get appointments. That's what I know for a fact. So to walk through this process again, number one, and I'll cater it to paid ads specifically because that's what we do the most. You're running the paid ad, right? So you're running the advertisement. People are going to come across it. You have a lead form that's associated with this, so they're going to click the Learn More button. It's going to open up the lead form. They're going to submit their information. There's an automatic redirect to a calendar where they are given the opportunity to schedule their own, and we use a separate page with some testimonials on it, etc. So if you want to do that, it helps. So you click here, and then you have a series of questions that you want to get from people. You don't want to add too many questions, and you want to make it very user-friendly. So as you can see, I'm able to just click through and provide all the answers that I need. I don't need to type any paragraphs or anything. And then they schedule the meeting, and that is going to populate on your introduction call calendar, where you then take that introduction call, which will be roughly 15 to 20 minutes. You qualify the person, make sure they're a good fit, make sure you can help them, invite them to that second call, and then make sure you have your Zoom link or your Google Meet link associated with the second call. You jump on a demo call. Give them a demo. You're going to do another discovery on that call. Break everything down for them. Maybe create some sort of pitch deck. Let them talk to the conversational AI on that call so you can actually enroll them into the sequence so they can experience it firsthand on how it's going to respond and how it's going to handle queries, etc. And then that would be your opportunity to close. So 2-step process. Make sure you have the form embedded into the calendar and give yourself the most opportunity to not only get information from people, but to get appointments on your calendar. You just need to have conversations. Like that's the number one thing whenever you're starting out is you need to talk to people. That is the only way you're going to have any opportunities at all to close deals. Okay. So hopefully this was helpful, and this is leading right in to the last two parts of the 7-day challenge, which is going to be setting the appointments, how to have the conversations, and then closing deals. So thank you for watching. If you haven't seen it, in the description below, there is a snapshot that you can grab that is basically a template of all of the conversational AI. There's also a link to our free school community that has multiple free courses, an entirely free community, and group calls that you're able to attend, ask questions, and learn from. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.